Clock on the wall says it's 11:03. It's Friday, the 15th day of December. In the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis and around the world, you're locked and loaded for another episode of Voices on WINNFM 98.9. My name is Socrates, hosting today. I've not been here for a minute. But of course, we're going to pause and give credit to our sponsors. And when we're done with all that, we get back to the program. Welcome to Voices.
Hello?
I'm going to have a jolly money Christmas. It's my favorite time of the year.
You're singing to yourself.
Girl, I'm heading to TDC Financial Services to get a loan in their Jolly Money Christmas loan promotion. They're offering a loan of up to $100,000 secured and up to $75,000 unsecured, which is perfect for my Christmas list because I have the house to renovate, Christmas shopping for all the little ones, travel to see my family, and then you can't forget back to school. So, I'll be having a jolly money Christmas with TDC Financial Services. You coming over?
Let's go. I'm coming to TDC Financial Service too.
Yes, this is 50. Merry Christmas from Rams, the good food people. Jingle bells, the owls are bright. Shopping at Rams is a true delight. Stock your pantry, spread the cheer. $50,000 of groceries for a year. Fruits and veggies, treats so sweet. Rams, the good food people can't be beat. The joy of giving with better prices in every aisle. Our team preparing. Fill your cart this holiday season and shop with Rams and win $50,000 in groceries for a year. Terms and conditions apply. See in stores for details. Happy holidays!
This Christmas is all about you. Yeah, boy. Flow brings the joy and better value.
With our new fiber network, sign up for any home internet plan or bundle mobile with home internet and get a $100 gift card. Get up to 1 gigabyte internet speeds, plus a chance to win prizes this holiday season.
This Christmas is all about you. Yeah, boy. Flow brings the joy and better value. Together, imagine all we could do. Prizes and offers inspired by you.
Flow, connecting hearts and homes this Christmas. Visit discoverflow.co. Conditions apply.
Once again, saying good morning, good evening, good afternoon to our many fans, viewers, listeners around the globe. Welcome to another presentation of Voices. It's the 15th day of December. It's a Friday. Fantastic Friday for many. Of course, folks are saying, thank God it's Friday, and in a couple of days you're going to get double salary and all different things. So it's Yuletide, it's Christmas, it's Carnival celebration gearing up. Lots of things to talk about, but I want to start with a thought provoker. I have a clip that was sent to me by Tobago Crusoe. For those in Calypsodom who know that name, you will know he's the guy who wrote, well, many of Sandra's big hits. Pardon? Okay. So in the meantime, while we're getting the file ready, let me say good morning to the notables, the fans of WINNFM, those who I know and those who I don't know. Good morning once again. Mr. Val Henry and family, Valentine Monish and family. Then you have Alphonse Bridges, of course. Rosemary up there in New York. Yes, Amber over there in Anguilla. We have the young lady up there in Atlanta, forget her name, I haven't seen in a moment. Well, all the folks normally log into WINNFM and are tuned to the program. Welcome once again for today's presentation. And as I was saying, we have lots of things happening. It's our Carnival Christmas celebrations. Today will be the official launching of Carnival. That's later this evening. Last night we would have had the presentation of 16 Calypsonians vying to get into the finals. Last night was the Caribou Senior Calypso semi-finals, where it would have been 16 Calypsonians, but one was in no-show. From that 15, 7 persons were selected to advance to the Calypso finals, due for the 29th of this month. That will be at Carnival City, Warner Park to be precise. And so that's created quite a buzz about those who advanced, those who didn't make it. You would always hear the judges would not see the same show as others, but I think it was a fantastic presentation. And somebody asked me a while ago, they said I didn't watch the show, blah, blah, blah. Did you get in? I say yes. They gave me a due. So I'm grateful for that. Thereby I'm saying congratulations to all of the folks who would have gave it their best and received the judges' nod last early this morning. The show started late for a variety of reasons, but just after midnight, pardon, things got, they wrapped things up. And within, I would say, 50 minutes of the last performers leaving the stage, the results were available. Okay. So as I mentioned earlier, I want to start the program today with something that was sent to me by Tobago Crusoe. He now resides in London. I'm often asked if I have a program, if I have a topic of the day. Let's start with this, and then we'll segue into other issues. So if Mr. Engineer is ready, please cue it up for me, and here we go.
How to destroy the entire world. The world is made up of continents, which is made up of countries, made up of states, then cities, villages, communities, which are made up of individual homes or families. So if you want to destroy the world, you start by destroying the human family. Now, God's design of the family is God, who is the foundation and source, the father, who is the provider, protector, and disciplinarian, as well as teacher, the mother, who is the nurturer, caregiver, emotional support, and teacher, and the children, who are the offspring. The children are the future of the world. So the first step in destroying the family is to remove the most important person, God. You do this by removing God from the education system and pushing the agendas that there is no God, the Bible is outdated, science is fact, God is fiction, and whatever else nonsense people believe these days. The next step in destroying the family is the removal of the father. This step is much easier now that God is gone. You see, because godless homes produce young adults with a morally corrupt lifestyle. Slack godless women go about giving up their womb to multiple men outside of marriage. Weak godless men go about creating children that they have no intention of fathering. This usually results in what we call single-parent households, most of which the mother only remains and the father is excluded. Fatherless homes proliferate fatherless homes, and now you're left with an epidemic of broken family units, with no God and no father. But it doesn't stop there. Now the single parent is left with the full responsibility of the home. They are so busy making ends meet that they have minimal time to spend raising their children themselves. So the child goes to school and he's learning his principles from the education system. And what is the system teaching? The system teaches your child that now you can have a family with 2 fathers or 2 mothers as parents, and somehow that is perfectly fine. This stupidity further corrupts the already broken family units that we have in the world. Now you're left with homes that have no God and no father. Some have no mothers, some have 2 mothers, 2 fathers. It's a complete mess. Now the result of broken godless homes is that it produces morally weak offspring. Our young men are growing up with no fear of God, no strong sense of integrity and righteousness and godly character. Our young women are growing up with no sense of chastity, no humility or loyalty, experts in manipulation, and the list goes on. So these faulty, misguided youths evolve to become corrupt politicians, fraudulent judges, unethical policemen, ruthless criminals, dishonest businessmen, greedy pastors, all who pollute and dismantle our communities, states, and nations. Now you have a selfish and cold world where no one loves or respects their neighbor, everyone fights for themselves, family becomes enemies, close friends backstab each other, nobody could be trusted. It's country against country, nation against nation, mankind divided against himself and destroying his own race. It's only a matter of time before a world like this collapses and self-destructs. And it all begins with the removal of the most important member of the family, God.
To some people's mind, would be a rather cynical view of the world. He may be called a prophet of gloom and doom, but the question is this something that we recognize and can identify with as we look around the world that we're now living? Much of what he would have highlighted, we see every day, and some of us shake our heads and walk away because we figure there's nothing we can do about it. But the point is, we are preparing a generation that we call the future, and if this is the way they raise and we become dependent on them, when they now take over, we are in a very sad state of affairs. So for those who listened and would care to weigh in on that, I think it's one of the many things that gives us pause to reflect. As we are now in the midst of the Yuletide season, the Christmas Carnival season, and there's an air of celebration around the city. We hear about double salary and monies from CBI program and all sort of positive things. There's that sense of electricity in the air. Plus the various programs that help us celebrate our Christmas Carnival events lends that air of excitement. But in the midst of all that, one has to pause and question the world surrounding us. It's a bit early, but the lines are open for anyone who wishes to calling. Good morning, Sister Sylvie. Jennifer in Atlanta, once again. There's Rosemary and there's a bag of sugar saying good morning to you guys. You're, of course, dedicated listeners and viewers to the program. For those who don't know, my name is Socrates, and I'm sitting in today. It's been a minute, as I said earlier. It's the 15th day of December, and it's when we see later on this evening the official launch of our National Carnival. Lots of troops, parade participants, etc. will be all taking part. Last year was a grand affair. We're told that they plan to top the celebratory openings today, so there's that happening downtown. Bank Street is being prepared for some major event. Is blocked off. So for those who are driving into the city, don't head to the circus unless you really have to, because you get to the circus and there's that carousel of vehicles going around and around. You can't go into Bank Street. You got to go up 4th Street. So if you have no intention of getting logged into a cog of traffic, don't go to the circus. You come from Liverpool Road, you get into that cogwheel. You come from down by the Treasury Building, the same thing. But you cannot access Bank Street. So if you want to go to, say, Newtown, stay on the Bay Road, take one of the access roads, you're in Newtown. Don't try to go via Bank Street. It's closed. 662-0989, 762-0989, 466, 0989 gets you in on the program. The lines are open. Let's hear what you have to say. If you heard the clip that was played earlier, we can play it later on for those who may not have heard it. Anything you want to talk about, if you want to send out birthday greetings, it's December. I know next week, Friday, I'll be celebrating, and you're free to guess what number it is. I'm not ashamed of it. I'm actually happy to be here, and God's willing, I'll be able to say next week, hey, I clocked this particular number. As I'll give you a hint. Sparrow said that it's only when 68 is over you can then begin to enjoy 69. So one of those things there. Brother Derek Freights, good morning to you, sir. Hope you're doing well. It's carnival time, of course, and you would have made a major indelible remark on carnival over the many years with your many contributions. So this time of the year, certain people would remember you for your sterling contribution to the development of National Carnival over the many decades. So Derek Freights, wherever you are, big up yourself. Right? So there's 6620989, 4660989, 762, and we go to the phone lines. Good morning, caller. You're live on Voices.
Hi, good morning, the King.
Good morning, sir. How art thou? Are you downtown?
No, I was. I drove to the circus a while ago there.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed that first, may I have permission to speak?
Most certainly, most certainly.
And before I go into what I intend to say, I just wish to send our condolences to the family of Miss Crosley, a great matriarch, and she would be one that we would say a great baobab tree has fallen in the community. I know her in the community of Newtown.
Okay.
For many, many years. Chucky, Dennis Crosley, I think his name is, he's a member of the fraternity.
Yes.
His grandmother.
Mm-hmm. I know the lady. I will let you share the information. And of course, from the studios of WINNFM, we also extend our condolences from my family and myself, also extended.
If one could say, if there are success stories with small businesses, that would morph.
I didn't
That
model.
lady has started from a little tray, selling candies and the like, sugar cakes, and you name it, going to the Nevis Bay, what we used to call Nevis Bay, and so forth, and selling by the old cinema there.
Mm-hmm.
She's one of the great matriarchs that has set an example and has morphed into a person who have gone into real estate and has been very successful. So, persons of that caliber who start from humble beginnings.
Has to be celebrated.
Yes. This is where interviews of persons of her nature would be there for posterity.
Yes.
And so just want to send condolences to the family. I grew up with her children, Carol, Chucky's mother,
Mm-hmm.
and the others. I know all of them because they're from the town. Just down there, I think it's Douglas Street. Between Douglas Street and Herbert Street, I think.
Okay, well, thanks for sharing the information. And of course, we extend our heartfelt condolences to the families.
Yes. That's all for now, the King. I'm going to get back, but I have a little engagement here, so I'm just going to get it over with and continue to listen and then get some feedback.
Okay.
And see how it is. It's all there. It's right there. Everyone is out and shopping.
Yes,
I
yes,
just went
yes.
and pick up 2 tires myself because normally I'll do that. If nothing else, I will put up 2 tires and put them spares, when the tough time comes, because the tough time will come. It's a phenomenon.
They will come?
It's a phenomenon.
I thought they were here. Well, thank you for being the first caller on the program, and thank you for sharing that
You're welcome.
information about
Welcome.
Elder Crossley. Much appreciated. Okay. We've got about 21 minutes down past the hour. If there are no callers on the line, we should pause and give credit to our sponsors. How about that? I don't think he got me. Are we the first station break, sir? Okay, he's got it.
Magnum, my brand. Everybody put your Magnum in the air now. From you a drink Magnum, make me see. Take charge of things now your place now. From the river to the beach to the street. Hot Magnum when me have in a me hand there. Give her a sipper, she tell me sweet. Look for me watch for your quick time check. Yeah. Right now a Magnum a for your beat. Enjoy yourself every day of the week with a Magnum. My life I forget sweeter. Must be 18 years and older to drink responsibly.
This Christmas is all about you. Yeah, boy. Flow brings the joy and better value. Together, imagine all we could do. Prizes and offers inspired by you.
This holiday season, get 2 Samsung A04Es for only $299 EC when you sign up for a family postpaid plan. Enjoy up to 60 gigabytes of data, unlimited WhatsApp and YouTube.
This Christmas is all about you. Telling you, boy, Flow brings the joy and better value.
Flow, connecting hearts and homes this Christmas. Visit discoverflow.co. Conditions apply.
Are you tired of constantly having to repaint? Then it's time to level up your paint game with Harris Paints. With Quantum I-12 technology, Harris gives you better colors that last longer and takes less coats. So this Christmas, level up your savings with 15% off 1 and 5 gallons of top quality Ultima Plus available at TDC. Then, with each purchase, play the Harris mobile game for chances to win the grand prize of $3,000 cash. Now that's a level up only from Harris Paints.
Welcome back to the program. So we've had one caller for the morning alerting us about the passing of Elder Costley, and we go back to the phone lines. Good day, caller. You're live on Voices.
Greetings, Kingston. Thanks for taking our call.
You most certainly, and thanks for the heads up last night.
Yes, and thanks for the gathering. We're tired, but we stayed a little bit in back of one.
I hear you.
We taking where we had to move, but yeah, we give thanks. We give thanks to this show.
It was good to see you. It was good to see you. It was good to see you.
I'm sorry to take the chair from in front here, but our lady was eating and wanted to sit and eat.
Of course. But you told me they say you have to sing.
Yes, I make sure that in your ears, right? For the chair, guys, so the thing go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we in the arts, we have to encourage one another.
Definitely.
I think that I wouldn't encourage the rest, but I make sure I get close to you, so I make sure I tell you competition.
Oh, tight. You come and tell me, they say you have to sing.
Yes, you have to sing, but we want to see Calypso come like how the reggae artists in Jamaica take reggae. Because they don't play with it, Remember me tell you, me go out them and see them don't play with it,
One of the things that happened over there, one of the things that happened in Jamaica and with reggae, there's been a lot of collaborations. So on one CD, you would have maybe 5-6 artists being featured.
Yes.
Around the Calypso world, everybody wants to produce their own album with custom.
No, what a serious point you're making. There's no collab.
No collaboration.
There's no collab.
Because in Calypso, there's a sense of competition. In reggae, you don't find that.
Hey, Bridget,
you're
making a serious point,
Yes.
And I pray that the point, what you're making, it is taken as it ought to be taken in the industry,
Here's what. Calypso is the only genre of music around the world where you're competing. You have a blues festival. You have an R&B festival. You have the festivals. You have Calypso competition.
Festivals, there's no competition. People just cheer.
Jazz festival. The best come out and they're appreciated by the fan base and the general audience. In Calypso, the only genre around the world that I know of where there's a competition to see who's the best. You cannot judge culture that way because it means that you're subjected, if you depend on that, on other person's opinion, the judges. The day that Arrow left competition, Arrow Montserrat.
We need to stop it now.
The day that the Arrow from Montserrat left competition and launched off by himself, what happened?
We know what happened.
He became a global phenomenon.
We know what happened.
The best in the world, best soca artist.
Yes,
unchallenged.
Yes. Africa. No, these people here look like they are walking there, No. The continent of Africa.
Mm-hmm.
Them move, them groove, them listen, them dance, them everything to our.
Yes, of course.
Yes,
and that's because
just like reggae music.
Right. They don't compete. He left that competitive mentality that I'm better than you, you're better than me, and just prove that he's sharing his music with the world. We compete.
And these things they take for norm. You know, I want to tell you something.
Go ahead.
You know, last time I look on you before me come for the chair because me go by there, but take up a chair and we say, hey, you should leave that in belongs to my brethren. So he point on the front.
Okay.
Me see the chair them to the front and when me talk with them I wait for somebody from
Official.
Me thought the chair them was waiting for somebody from ministry.
Yeah, officials. I hear you.
And we don't want to diss the program. But talking about that, the Virgin Rockable say, how the place can't so why more people am full of the place? Eh? No. Me expect more people down there last night. And the weather was so fine. What's wrong with these people here, man?
Well,
anyhow, that's another subject. Come on for that.
Okay, go ahead.
How you going to say? Anyhow, let me go in for one stop cardboard, man. Or sometimes I get vexed. Listen to me now.
I'm listening.
Yeah, man. The cleaning up, the general cleaning up are going. They say it's the second year, right?
Yep.
And what up? I be holding it right to the island, right to. Right to. You never knew it, but you have to go on there. And because of what workers are beholding, it caused us to write. And I want to share the punchline on this program. I tell a physician who I work with then, I can do it before I share it to the public, before I share it to the public.
Okay.
But just the punchline I go share, right? It's a verse, but hear the punchline. After the removal of the bag and pan and the rankatan, all of the bangarang, the removal of all of the kaya sajama, the this and that and the tower the other, all on sundry, in the St. Christopher, to keep up and keep right on upping up the cleanliness order. That's the point.
That's all like a poem. That's very poetic.
I know, but it's the punchline for a poem. Because they advised me in Jamaica, who Tony Revolution of Co and all of them, they say, you read me right before a punchline because me not just a write poetry, me write song. So a couple of them, when they're going studio, they make sure they say to them too, just that my name.
Yep.
Yeah, me do it just out of bread and sister thing, But them jam me, Queen as we call them, when them go straight. It's true there, yeah, cause everything have a right, you see me? Anyhow, yeah, so that's the punchline, right? For poem, and it concerns.
It sounds very poetic.
Yeah, that's the nastiness, what we keep talking about. Because the cleanup go on last year,
Yes.
We still online?
Yes, of course.
Okay. The cleanup go on last year. And the breed of things what people have put out, and if some of the workers them have to go in all them yard, all them house, or take out. It is unimaginable. No, we're not the cleanest, But which most high God of God, even know, say we try the best. And the same thing with clean people. Yeah? Because we're not a nasty people originally. If we are the moles who teach others, nations, that you can bathe more regularly, man. You don't have to do it once a year or twice a year.
Fact.
We do that. This ain't no Nancy story. We cross Alps and go in other places near we on the continent and tell them, say,
about sanitation.
Yeah, no, sanitation.
Good hygiene, sanitation, cleanliness, etc.
Yes, you surround is everything. No, hey, me see some rat big like cat.
Where?
The 60th cream. No, Santa P long like me hand.
I see.
No, this thing is serious. And the people them just a boogie same way. And something I want to talk about. Me don't tell the ministry, you know. Mrs. Clark, Honorable Clark, Honorable Fame, small trash, blind eye. When you clean up the big bang around them and the this and the that and the that, me still see garbage litter the road all through the island.
But you know something, right? Say one, say two.
Yeah.
There are litter wardens, as far as I recall.
With that, man. Okay, go on, Tom. Let me listen to you, brother.
The question is, are they doing the jobs for which they're paid?
I'm bust some F, you know. You know me want to bust some F.
Are they doing the jobs for which they're being paid? That's the question.
Yes. You know I want to bust some F, though.
Well, I know you're bigger than that.
Okay. No, me big.
I know you're bigger than that.
No, hold on. Brother. Anyhow, let me come off of that. Come like you want to make me bust some F. The policies and legislation. X drop of teacher city paper, $1,000. X do it again, the next $1,000. X pocket broke and he can't pay, jail. I am in the cemetery as we speak. I sleep here last night. I sometimes I sleep on my family them too.
Okay.
Yeah. My family then, yeah, me have to do some work nearby. So I sleep here last night. Me just make sure me comfortable. And you don't know. I've been afraid. Man, me just tell a sister, one of my co-worker, the tomb when me dip on a sit down right now, before me come sit down on it, me have to throw off garbage.
Wow.
Can and pan and bacon, see me watching me in the road there now.
Yeah, I can see frustration. That's extreme.
Yeah, and who you think do it? People who clean workers.
Wow.
So this is how deep this thing be.
I see the point you're making.
Hey, Virgin. Me hear people say, oh, we cleaner than other people. Yes. Maybe so. When in the competition again, they go on, you know. Instead of saying the land of beauty. What the thing name again? What the thing name?
Motto?
What the thing name? Because we got too much of them in one anthem and one.
The motto?
One emblem we want.
Yeah.
Not motto. Emblem. Anthem.
Or Land of Beauty?
Tell me the first 4 words of the anthem.
O Land of Beauty.
Oh. Repeat it.
O Land of Beauty.
Thank you. I forgot. Blessed love me. Have a good day.
Your point is well taken, so much appreciated. And yes, last night I was down at the Calypso semifinals at Port Zante, and the gentleman came across and told me, well, he said, they say you have to sing. At one point, the MC said, this looked like everybody will make it through. There were some high caliber performances and calypsos that I actually spoke to persons about they being competition for the final night, and they were thrown out. Back to the phone lines. Caller, good day, you're live on Voices.
It's probably, me want to add more article condolences concerning the passing of the squad.
Definitely.
Yes. Up there, some about between Douglas Street, a house. They say it was the only upstairs house in Herbert Street. Street house, they call it. Up the inside of my barn, but maybe not night. I'm more, that as I tell you, I sit in the cemetery, and I had a conversation with my co-worker earlier, and conversation was about, coming in the cemetery was about dying, the youth, them dying, the killing what go on. And when we listen to that announcement now, years ago when we listen to that announcement, you hear that announcement, and then you don't hear nothing. Now you're hearing that announcement.
Very regular basis.
Plenty one time too. And you say, no, something wrong. And believe you me, we carry the reasoning to a level. As soon as we start to talk about this, we start this up made, We carry the reasoning to a level that the human being was created. Are we still online?
You're live and direct.
Yeah. The human being was created in the same similitude as the Creator, immortal. It means that death is something that is not The way people embrace that, man. It make you, the way people embrace the wages. It make like the gift don't exist. The wages of sin is death. The gift of the God of God is what? The gift. What is the gift?
Eternal life, but you said embrace death.
Why you have for dead? Why you have to get the wages to get the gift? That's what the church say now. That's what Christendom say now. They're terrible, you know. Why you have to get the wages? Why we have for dead to live eternally? Why? Something is wrong with that system, and it is very important for people to dismiss these religious dogma and search for life to know, say, I was born as a baby. Yeah, you know, wonderful it is the birth of a baby. And then years after, you want to come to disturb this life, this good, priceless blessing with something named death.
Well, we learn about the circle of life.
Circle of what?
Life, the circle of life. Look at nature. Yeah. Look at nature, and we learn from nature. Just apply yourself to nature. Look around and see what happens. There's a circle of life.
Circle of life.
Mm-hmm.
But the other thing with nature, you know. Well, we part of nature too. But the other thing that's, you know, brethren, when you really check it out, you know, is nature do not do nothing to itself. That form of nature, what you have spoken about. But the human species, which is the most superb of all creation, are destroying itself. You don't realize that, man?
Of course I do.
You talk about the cycle. Yes, that is great to talk. So they don't haste the cycle. Look, I know she's 100.
We still have the 4 seasons if we observe them.
Huh?
We still have the 4 seasons, even though sometimes we don't observe them. Winter, spring, summer, fall.
But of course, what we in now? Winter?
We're in the winter season.
Mm-hmm. Creation just go on do its thing.
Mother Nature.
One wise man say, the food tree. You listen to the mango then. The mango tree bears food.
In season.
Yeah, in the season. Get back bare, drop its leaves without caring about blame.
And the tree that does not bear fruit, what happened to it?
What happened to it?
The tree that don't bear fruit is plucked up and cast in the fire. It's unproductive.
Boy, that's another subject. Blessed Lord.
With respect.
I'm more heartical condolences to the family.
Definitely. Okay, it's 11:41, and we're checking. I think it's we just missed a caller. Okay, let's see if we can get the other caller on the line before we go to a station break. So that was an interesting conversation. We speak about the youth and what's happening to them. That's a rather general term. We know from news publication that a young man was charged for the double murder of the last 2 casualties. So there's at least the investigation bore out that someone has been arrested and charged for that. I want to congratulate the police and for the folks who were able to assist in that coming to, for lack of a better word, fruition, conclusion. We do have those pockets of violence around the globe in every society. When it happens in a very small society like ours, the whole thing is magnified because we're this intertwined as a people on both of the islands that make up the Federation. It's very traumatizing, and it's all about how we address certain things. When initially we saw this trend, people were very much alarmed. And then over a period of time, we became jaded. To the point you would hear about a shooting, and the first question, is he dead? And when you say no, you hear, that's how people change. They adapt to circumstances. And if it's a negative trend, we actually follow those negative trends, which changes us as a people. But hopefully, we did see reverse in that trend, and people are hopeful and joyful and proud once again to be part of a federation where that stigma was not part of our daily reminders. And so when we have little things like a double murder, this or that within a certain time frame, we're reminded, and people start to judge and point fingers, cast blame, etc. and so on. This administration had it quelled, and this is not doing, because we panic. It comes from fear. And that is not a place that we want to be. But at this point in time, if there are no other callers on the line, we will pause to give due credit to our sponsors. We'll be right back.
This Christmas is all about you. Yeah, boy. Flow brings the joy and better value.
With our new fiber network, sign up for any home internet plan or bundle mobile with home internet and get a $100 gift card. Get up to 1 gigabyte internet speeds, plus a chance to win prizes this holiday season.
This Christmas is all about you. Yeah, boy. Flow brings the joy and better value. Together, imagine all we could do. Prizes and offers inspired by you.
Flow, connecting hearts and homes this Christmas. Visit discoverflow.co. Conditions apply.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
If you need protection, you need one who you can trust. To secure your investment, you need one who'll do you just. TDC Insurance, you're the one that you can trust. TDC Insurance, you're always safe with us.
TDC Insurance is your go-to insurance company for all your insurance needs. We take pride in offering you the best solutions and ensuring our customers are fully satisfied. TDC Insurance, we take good care of you, guaranteeing you peace of mind.
You're always safe with us.
Feel the magic happening. Campari. Taste.
Something incredible happens when Campari is mixed just right. Like Campari and orange juice poured over ice. Taste it. Try it tonight. Bitter, sweeter, better. Campari. Must be 18 years and older. Drink responsibly.
Oh, welcome back to another presentation of Voices. My name is Socrates, and I just had a text sent to me from a Calypsonian and Nevis, fellow Calypsonian Murray. I'm not sure if he's listening. He was making commentary on a song I rendered last night called Heroes of the Caribbean. And he says, another good song, the playing field being level with your presentation, being this and that, the call is yours. And he goes on to say, you roll deep in research, knowledge and intellect. I'm blushing as I speak. The thing is, as I was responding to him, the role of the Calypsonian, amongst other things, to be educator. You shouldn't just go on stage with a topic that is popular or not and just sing, and you need to take a message. And one of the persons who presented last night is a former police officer who lived in New York, named Green Tea. I'll come back to talk about his song and his impact in my mind. Let's take this caller. Caller, good day, live on Voices.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Welcome to the program.
Yes, I want to ask a question.
You may, sir.
The free movement, this free movement that we had, I think I overheard that it was supposed to be you come here for 6 months and you go, you leave and come back, or you just come to live. How it really go?
You're allowed, if you went to Antigua today as a Caribbean national, CARICOM, you're given 6 months by the immigration. Beyond that, you will have to apply for an extension of time. If you find accommodations there in Antigua or St. Lucia, Dominica, what I'm saying, the same courtesy is extended to nationals from Jamaica, Grenada, Guyana who come to St. Kitts. They're offered to you. They're offered to you in these same sister countries.
Okay, so you don't have to leave then. You just apply all
You
the
apply
time?
for an extension, yes.
All the time.
Well, it's up to the immigration. If your circumstance meets the requirements, they extend it. So example that you acquire a work permit, which you have to renew annually. That's accepted.
Okay. Oh, well, okay. I just trying to figure it out.
There's some people who actually infringe and they break the laws, but if they're caught up to, then they have to deal with maybe being deported, etc., etc. But once they apply, because national security follows up on these persons who are here, or they ought to, they monitor them.
No, they think they follow. No, they don't follow. I don't think so.
Okay. Well, it's supposed to, because their records of the persons would say, okay, they expire tomorrow. And they are supposed to have that information in a database by which they can access and find these persons where they register the address and apply the policies.
Okay, so I could go to Barbados and maybe
6 months.
6 months. And
Yes.
just
Now,
reapply.
some countries, well, outside of CARICOM, require a visa. But for those who don't,
Yeah, I know.
you're given 6 months.
Okay. Okay.
You
Okay.
you have an issue with somebody?
No. I don't man. I want to share talk with anything. I just asked.
No, you're given 6 months, especially if you're a professional. You're given that.
I was listening to the assembly. I was listening to Mark. He really was saying some good thing, but I heard him say if like some people in Dominica and so they work for the minimum wage is very low, and if the it's a high,
It's lower than ours, yes.
Yeah, they could just leave the country and just come and live and work. But well, that's the way they put it. So that's the way it is. Eh?
In order to work, they must secure a work permit.
A work permit.
And you must be able to make your social security contributions. You can't just come in and start working. Your employer must pay that 5% of your social security contribution, and you pay the other half. So you must contribute to the social development of the country, not just come and take.
But listen, I overheard the minister saying everything happening here now in Sinclair, the water shortage, everything is climate change. But I don't think so, you know.
Let's hear what you have to say.
I don't think climate change has nothing to do with us on this end. It's the way the country, the position the country get in. Because in nowadays coming up, it was supply of salt, you know. They were supposed to keep those salt ponds.
Okay.
That's the only way to keep getting rain. Because remember in days coming, need much estate and them used to water the cane, you know. You remember that?
No, but I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, all those estates, they used to water. All the cane filling used to water and just be water up them with time.
I can understand smaller crops, but entire cane field, how did that come about?
Yeah, they used to do over ponds and need more. They used to water all the cane field.
Okay. Was there a drought season, a dry season? Because you do that in the absence of rain.
Yeah, but we're not getting the rain like before because till we get rid of the salt ponds.
The biosphere.
That's an industry we're supposed to keep.
I sang about mankind damaging the biosphere. And that is the whole issue because I recall when they were doing a research on the southeastern peninsula, there was concerns about the salt pond. It should not be touched. If you speak to Larry Amany, he was part of that focal study group. And I think it's a breathing vein for the volcano is not supposed to be messed with. It. When you do that, right, you disrupt the ecosystem. And so we had this fallout from these things.
That's the truth. But anyhow, good program. I'm listening. You're listening.
Much appreciated. Thank you for your contribution.
Yeah, that's all.
Okay. Interesting. That caller. And I was speaking about Maury's commentary on a song I did last night called Heroes of the Caribbean. And the folks I designated as hero. I mean, Maury, you may not like what I have to say, but I don't think in the grand scheme of things that Alexander Hamilton should be seen as a hero in terms of the struggle of our people for our natural freedom. He was born there. So if by that he becomes a hero or whatever the case is, I can understand the image it creates in a tourism-related dependent country. or we have Alexander Hamilton, but I'm thinking about the actual heroes, like the Buckley's Three. They didn't volunteer to be shot down, but they went out and they braved, they challenged the status quo. Joseph Samuel, James Archibald John Samuel, those to me are heroes. Call your live on voices.
Hi, the King.
With respect.
Yeah, I'm back. What Jatos was saying earlier about the ponds and the Nismus. I don't know how far it was extended, but you had these sort of pipes, very thin, what do you call that material? It wasn't copper. It was probably another material. But they had these pipes that they move around and they would water the little, especially when they plant new crops, like, you know.
I've seen the sprinklers on the tractors in the U.S. on the farm, so I have a pretty good idea what they may have resembled here when St. Kitts Nevis. I have an idea.
These new pipes. Well, if you're coming down from Value Mat and you're coming down there by the tire place by Murphy, and you come down, you will see a well there. It's obsolete now. A well is there.
Is it dried up? Is that what you're saying? The well is dried up?
Those kind of tin, I think it's tin pipes that they used to, align to water those young small bumper cane.
Okay.
I don't think it has extended to the more mature cane, but from time to time when a certain acreage of field under, you know, all those fields have their own names. Would harrow it up, allow us to plant our potatoes and maybe potatoes and
crop rotation.
Crop
rotation.
You know, for that 6 months, and then once we reap those things, then they plant new crops.
Crop rotation.
And then they do the watering.
But with peanuts also.
I want to say, the King, I want to ask you a question as to why you think there's competition in Calypso. Why the competition? Because I have my own take on it. So I just want to ask you a question before.
I think it was commercial. I think it was commercial. It is said you can't judge culture, but it's a way of bringing out the best. But what I'm saying, Calypso is the only genre of music that I know that you still compete. This stemmed from a point made by the first caller here, I forget the name now, where he spoke about Jamaica and the music.
Yeah.
Right? It wasn't Echut. Right? It was Elder X. Spoke
That's
about
his name, Echut.
Oh, Echut. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Your accent was yes.
Okay. And so he pointed, and I was speaking about
where his parents gave him the name Eli. And he said he's a very truthful brother. So
he's truth.
The lexicon in the Eli, it doesn't fit well with righteous people.
He should be lying. He should be lying. I get it. Now I understand it. Now I understand it.
Yes.
And so I spoke about the fact that the Jamaicans and the reggae artists and other they collaborate. Whereas the Calypsonian, back in the day, you have a long playing LB with 12 songs. And you have to go and pay for all that. Whereas in Jamaica, as a matter of fact, the guys who were doing the producers, would exploit that. Put about 6, 7 artists on one album. And maybe only one song sold the entire album. Whereas we compete. You know.
I was trying to get at the King. You and I know, and you know very well, because you have had a conversation of this nature, where the art form, the Calypso art form, it goes back. Its origins in Africa.
The Griots, West Africa.
It comes in our culture where, mimic. Okay, for instance, we had the budget, and everybody looked forward to the goodies, right? It was a time when apostles would have said to the king, we need better transparency in the kingdom, and so forth and so forth and so forth. But the king had his rivals. He had his sibling that was rivaling for the throne. And the Calypso farm, having to be crowned with a king, it's all a mimicking that that monarchy, and thus the rivalry in terms of the competition. I think that is some of the origin of it. It may not be the whole entire story, but some of it came back from the art form, like the mummies and so on, the art form where people would have mimicked the king in a joking way, because ordinarily the king is a very serious person. You cannot just look up and fly up in the monarchy face. But this was the very only one time of the year when you will get to able to say, well, talk the things and feel and vent your feelings as to how the kingdom affairs is being run.
I'm listening. I'm trying to follow you.
His rival, and even there was rivalry amongst the siblings who, because the king's father would have had a lot of siblings because they grew up in what we call the what do you call this word here? Where you had more than one wife.
Concubinary?
No, not concubine. Where you had celibacy. Not celibacy. The word is evading me. Where a king would have more than one wife.
Would have
some of the
harems.
wives, their children would want to be the son to be the successor to the throne. And the other mother would have wanted her son to be the successor to the throne. What do you call it? The Mormon faith believes in it. But you had more than one wife.
Okay, I know where you're going.
Society.
I know what you mean. I'm just as bad as you are.
Persons who are listening they know what I'm talking about. Okay? So out of that come, the king has 12 children. 6 sons, 6 daughters, and
guess
all
what?
of the mothers, 12 children, but not by one wife.
Here's what. I just said 12 children. It's 12 o'clock. We're out of time.
So good. So,
we are out of time, so we have to pause for the Win FM's midday.
After the end
We have to pause for the
news.
Win FM's midday newscast, and then after that we'll pick up the chat, okay? So now take a pause for the Win FM's midday newscast. We will continue after.
You found the sound. 98.9. Win FM.
We now bring you the headline news. The headline news is brought to you by Caribbean Alliance, KDP Enterprises, The Grange, and Caribbean.
When it comes to the important things in life, your health, your education, your choice of a life partner, and of course your insurance provider, only the best will do. Caribbean Alliance Insurance is the only insurance company in the Eastern Caribbean with an A excellent rating. We have a robust 3-tier reinsurance strategy that protects our policyholders from multiple catastrophes, even if they occur in quick succession. We spread our risks over 18 territories, ensuring minimal impact to individual territories when a disaster strikes. We provide an excellent claims experience. Claim settlement is usually between 24 to 48 hours. Our A excellent rating means that you are more secure with us. Contact us for motor, property, marine, public liability, employer's liability, and other policies. Delisle Walwyn, people you can trust. Local agent for Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Tomorrow secured.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Shipping your cargo shouldn't be a hassle. It can be as easy as a single call to Amerijet International, your worldwide cargo transportation solution. We provide all the services you need to ship your goods anywhere in the world, whether your shipment is fresh, frozen, large or small, alive or hazardous. You can count on Amerijet to deliver it safe and sound. Amerijet International. By land, sea or air, we get it there. For more information, visit us online at www.amerijet.com or call us at KDP Enterprises at 466-9595.
Did you know that the Grange Healthcare Facility is the first purpose-built, non-governmental healthcare organization on St. Kitts? It's situated at Otley's, 7 miles east of Basseterre in beautifully landscaped surroundings. The Grange has a team of highly trained professionals and provides care that's rated as being comparable with UK and North American standards. The Grange offers varied accommodations to suit your individual needs, and our all-inclusive packages make the cost of care per hour the most competitive on the island. Services include convalescent care for all ages, daycare facilities for older adults, rehabilitation services, and training and continuing education for healthcare providers. For more information, call 466-5525 or 465-8020. Fax 466-8221 or email thegrangehealth@gmail.com or visit our website at www.grangehealthcarefacility.com.
With the WINNFM Midday News, I am Kevon Brown. Our top stories.
Guyana, Venezuela agreed to no threats or use of force in border dispute to meet again in 3 months. Over $1 million allocated by Grenada's government to reimburse students who performed well in CXC examinations. Internationally, Russian President Vladimir Putin has told Russians that peace with Ukraine will only take place when we achieve our objectives.
Now the details.
The leaders of Guyana and Venezuela agreed during the summit in St. Vincent and the Grenadines on Thursday, December 14, 2023, that neither side would use threats or force against the other. According to international reports, both countries failed to reach an agreement on how to address the border dispute over the Essequibo region, which is rich in oil and minerals. Although both countries could not reach a conclusion on the border dispute, both Guyanese President Irfan Ali and Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro have agreed to meet again in Brazil within 3 months or at another agreed-upon time. As part of the declaration, the presidents also agreed to, quote, refrain, whether by words or deeds, from escalating any conflict, end quote. There is an obvious impasse between both countries, as Guyana believes the border issues should be resolved through the International Court of Justice, ICJ, while Venezuela did not consent to that because the country does not recognize the ICJ or its jurisdiction in the dispute. Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, as President pro tempore of CILAC, facilitated the talks and in a press briefing read the details of the declaration.
The joint declaration of Argyle for dialogue and peace between Guyana and Venezuela reads as follows. On Thursday, December the 14th, 2023, in Argyle, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, His Excellency Irfan Ali, President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, and His Excellency Nicolas Maduro, President of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela, held discussions on matters consequential to the territory in dispute between their two countries. These discussions were facilitated by the Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines and pro tempore President of the Community of Latin American and Caribbean States, CILAC, Dr. the Honorable Ralph E. Gonsalves, and the Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of Dominica and Chairman of the Caribbean Community, CARICOM, the Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit. Prime Ministers Gonsalves and Skerrit, together with His Excellency Mr. Celso Amorim, Special Advisor and Personal Envoy of His Excellency Luis Inácio Lula da Silva, President of the Federated Republic of Brazil, acted as principal interlocutors. Also present were the Honorable Prime Ministers of the Caribbean Community, namely the Honorable Philip Davis, Prime Minister of the Bahamas, the Honorable Mia Amor Motley, Prime Minister of Barbados, the Honorable Dickon Mitchell, Prime Minister of Grenada, the Honorable Philip J. Pear, Prime Minister of St. Lucia, the Honorable Terence Drew of St. Kitts and Nevis, and Dr. the Honorable Keith Rowley, Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. Attending as observers on behalf of His Excellency Antonio Guterres, Secretary General of the United Nations, were Their Excellencies Earl Courtney Rattray, Chef de Cabinet of the Office of the Secretary General of the United Nations, and Miroslav Jenka, Under Secretary General of the United Nations Department of Political and Peacebuilding Affairs. In addition, His Excellency Alvaro Leyva Duran, Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Colombia, and Mr. Gerardo Torres Zelaya, Vice Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Honduras, in his capacity as CELAC Troika, also participated. All parties attending the meeting at Argyle, St. Vincent and the Grenadines reiterated their commitment to Latin America and the Caribbean remaining a zone of peace. Guyana and Venezuela declared as follows. 1. Agreed that Guyana and Venezuela directly or indirectly will not threaten or use force against one another in any circumstances, including those consequential to any existing controversies between the two states. 2. Agreed that any controversies between the two states will be resolved in accordance with international law, including the Geneva Agreement dated February 17, 1966. 3. Committed to the pursuance of good neighborliness, peaceful coexistence, and the unity of Latin America and the Caribbean. 4. Noted Guyana's assertion that it is committed to the process and procedures of the International Court of Justice for the resolution of the border controversy. Noted Venezuela's assertion of its lack of consent and lack of recognition of the International Court of Justice and its jurisdiction in the border controversy. 5. Agreed to continue dialogue on any other pending matters of mutual importance to the two countries. 6. Agreed that both states will refrain, whether by words or deeds, from escalating any conflict or disagreement arising from any controversy between them. The two states will cooperate to avoid incidents on the ground conducive to tension between them. In the event of such an incident, the two states will immediately communicate with one another, the Caribbean Community, CARICOM, the Community of Latin American and the Caribbean, CELAC, and the President of Brazil to contain, reverse, and prevent its recurrence. 7. Agreed to establish immediately a joint commission of the foreign ministers and technical persons from the two states to address matters as mutually agreed. An update from this joint commission will be submitted to the presidents of Guyana and Venezuela within 3 months. 8. Both states agreed that Prime Minister Ralph E. Gonzalez, the pro tempore president of CELAC, Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit, the incumbent CARICOM chairman, and President Luis Inácio Lula da Silva of Brazil will remain seized of the matter as interlocutors, and the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres as observers, with the ongoing concurrence of Presidents Irfan Ali and Nicolas Maduro. For the avoidance of doubt, Prime Minister Gonzalez's role will continue even after St. Vincent and the Grenadines ceases to be the pro tempore president of CELAC, within the framework of the CELAC Troika +1. And Prime Minister Skerrit's role will continue as a member of the CARICOM Bureau. 9. Both states agreed to meet again in Brazil within the next 3 months or at another agreed time to consider any matter with implications for the territory in dispute, including the above-mentioned update of the Joint Commission. 10. We express our appreciation to Prime Ministers Gonzalez and Skerrit, to President Lula and his personal envoy Celso Amorim, to all other CARICOM Prime Ministers present, to the officials of the CARICOM Secretariat, to the CELAC Troika, and to the head of the CELAC PTP Secretariat in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, His Excellency Dr. Douglas Slater, for their respective roles in making this meeting a success. 11. We express our appreciation to the government and people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines for their kind facilitation and hospitality at this meeting, dated this 14th day of December 2023.
Due to the urgency of the meeting, various Caribbean community CARICOM heads of government were in attendance, including Barbados Prime Minister Mia Mottley and the Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, the Honourable Dr. Terence Drew, who left the Island Federation following his budget address on December 13th to attend the meeting. The meeting was also held under the auspices of the Community of States of Latin America and the Caribbean, CELAC, to address the critical matters related to the ongoing border controversy between Guyana and Venezuela.
In regional news,
over $1 million allocated by Grenada's government to reimburse students who performed well in CXC examinations. Grenada Broadcasting Network has that report.
With an aim to encourage secondary school students to fulfill their potential and study hard while assisting parents in meeting the financial cost of helping their children reach the educational goal, the National Democratic Congress-led government is moving to reintroduce a reimbursement initiative for students who excel in their CXC examinations. The announcement was made by Education Minister David Andrew during his contribution to the 2024 budget in Senate on Wednesday.
We know the sacrifices that parents make to pay for CSEC exams. The ministry is embarking on a phased approach as part of its universal secondary education and free education policy to reimburse students who complete some sections, particular combinations of subjects. The details of those will be put forward, but the plan is to reimburse students in 2024. This we hope will encourage students to perform much better and to work intrinsically to achieve their goals. A total of $1.2 million has been allocated for this program rollout in 2024.
In the 2010 budget, the Tillman Thomas-led NDC government provided a full refund of external examination fees to all students who passed 8th or more subjects. However, this was scrapped by the new National Party-led administration. Additionally, Minister Andrew said government is also exploring how the process can become easier for citizens seeking student loans. He said the consultation process has already begun.
While we keep promoting it, while we keep talking a lot about it, while we keep working hard at it, we are aware, though, that we have to reduce the degree, how onerous it is for students to access loans who might want to study. And so our ministry has already engaged many of the financial institutions, Madam President, to discuss the requirements for accessing student loans. Further,
we now bring you these international reports.
As Russia's President Vladimir Putin is holding a news conference. He has vowed to strengthen Russia's sovereignty in what's his first major news conference since the full-scale invasion of Ukraine. Mr. Putin said that peace would only be possible after what he called Kyiv's demilitarization. Now, that press conference, which is being carried live on all main Russian television channels, comes as EU leaders are meeting in Brussels to discuss further funding for Ukraine. Someone from the public is asking a question of President Putin. She's in her home. But when President Putin was asked about normalising relations with Europe, he said that he was open to the idea, but that, and I quote, "It's not up to us, it's not up to us. We didn't ruin relations. They did that. They've always tried to push us back." President Putin went on to say, "We believe that the United States is a necessary country for the world. However, their absolute imperial policies are hurting them. When something changes, we will see the conditions to establish full relations. But now, we see nothing." Well, for more on all of this, we can join my colleague, BBC Monitoring's Russia editor Vitaly Shevchenko, who's been watching that news conference. Vitaly, we'll go on to some of the other things that President Putin's been saying in a moment. But what we just cut to earlier there was the president taking a question for a member of the public who appeared to be at home. I mean, that's something, isn't it?
Well, it might be unusual for leaders outside of Russia, but this is what Vladimir Putin has been doing for more than 20 years. he's been holding these Q&As called direct lines with members of the public, and they've been asking questions from wherever, from the street, from their homes. But the thing to remember is that very little is left unscripted during these events, and whereas Vladimir Putin has taken an uncomfortable or difficult question or two, most of the questions are much more friendly and easy to answer for him, and in fact serve to further his agenda, really.
What are we finding out, though, from this news conference that is beyond what we already would expect from President Putin?
Very little. By this point in time, we know what his views are and we know how he implements them. What I found slightly unusual is how heavily focused on Ukraine the first hour of his Q&A was. He yet again defended his so-called special military operation against Ukraine. He questioned Ukraine's territorial integrity by claiming that huge swathes of southeastern Ukraine actually belonged to Russia. He questioned Ukraine's very identity by saying that Ukrainians and Russians are one people, and Russian-speaking Ukrainians, they actually support Russia, i.e. his policies. He remained as defiant as ever when it comes to the war with Ukraine. He said that Russia's objectives remained the same, and there's very little change there that would indicate that Vladimir Putin is prepared to compromise with Russia. If the first hour and a half of his Q&A is anything to go by, I don't think this is the case.
OK, Vitaly. Well, one more question, because we touched on it earlier before I introduced you, and that is, of course, President Putin's comments about Western countries. The EU, of course, meeting today to discuss funding for Ukraine while all of this is going on.
Vladimir Putin has been saying for years that any tensions between Russia and the West, between Russia and its neighbors, are not actually Russia's fault. He's been pointing figures at all sorts of political leaders and countries abroad. And all this time, he's been saying that Russia is prepared to talk to them. Russia is prepared to try and improve relations with them. But this will only happen once their behavior improves, and this realistically will only happen if any talking happens strictly on Russia's terms.
Pictures that are coming from Al Jazeera at the moment, showing our correspondent Wael Dahdouh, who's on that gurney in a hospital that I can't yet identify. As you were telling us earlier on, he appears to have been injured. They appear to be treating at the moment. We should remember Wael Dahdouh had several members of his family killed and injured in an Israeli strike some weeks ago. He then went back to work and was reporting the following day after he had been through the funeral service for those members of his family. Pictures, we believe, that are coming from a hospital in Khan Yunis. I want to bring in our senior political analyst, Marwan Bashara. This is just an indication of the kind of risks that obviously all people in Gaza are facing, but of course journalists as well, who are trying to report on the situation there.
You know, I'm honestly, I got tired of having to watch this, where our colleagues have to go through this. It seems like it's a non-stop thing against not just innocent civilians, but innocent journalists trying to do their job. We've been covering our colleagues and their families being subjected to the kind of inhumane violence by the Israelis throughout Palestine and even in Lebanon. And it's just an ongoing nightmare that doesn't seem to stop. But once again, this is the thing about our people at Al Jazeera. They are our family, and their families also are going through this. And here they are in front of our eyes, in plain sight, for the international public opinion, just to watch what is happening in Gaza. Of course, our journalists tend to be part and parcel of the fabric of the societies they cover. And in the case of Gaza, of course, we are unique in being present there with all our young professionals doing their jobs in and out. And as you said, Rob, despite all difficulties, despite the death of his family, so many members of his close family died or killed by the Israeli violence, and he rebounded within minutes to do his job. And here he is again now. He is the victim, Wa'il, our Wa'il, our bureau chief that's been going there for years and years and years, steadfast, with his people, covering the story of the suffering of his people, just basically reporting on what is happening in Gaza to the rest of the world. But Israel, not only attacks innocent civilians, it attacks those who try to get their voice heard, their cries heard in the rest of the world.
I want to go back to Hani Mahmoud, who, of course, is one of our Al Jazeera teams who are on the ground and has been reporting for several weeks now since the conflict began. Hani, just first of all, talk to us about Wael himself. Talk to us about the kind of person that Wael Daghdough is, because I know that he has been reporting from Gaza for so many years. He's regarded as an institution there. He's not somebody that I have personally met, but I know that you and the members of your team may have done so. Talk to us about that.
Yes, Tom, we've known Wael for quite a while, a very professional journalist doing his job to the best of his ability, focusing on facts and only facts without painting any flowery image of what's going on. And this is in his opinion, as once we discuss it, this is what Palestinians need, just to stick to the facts and what's going on the ground. It's the strongest message possible to the world to explain the Palestinian plight. Well, it's on the third week of this genocidal war. He just lost his wife, 3 of his children, and several other of his family members. And despite the shocking news of his family loss, well, on the next day after the funeral procession, they decided to get back in the field and continue reporting and documenting all the atrocities and the relentless attacks on defenseless Palestinians across the Gaza Strip. And particularly today, the incident at the school earlier this morning, this evacuation school in Haifa Street, that's in eastern in central Khan Yunis, an evacuation center. And the area, this is not the first time being targeted. It was targeted repeatedly within the past a few days. It came under heavy gunfire, tank shells, artillery shelling. The vicinity of the school was destroyed by airstrikes, as well. The vast majority of the infrastructure, the roads leading to the school were severely damaged. So the school was full of evacuees, but due to intensity of the bombing, several people decided to leave and move to the western side, only remain in the school those who had no other place to go to, and basically who believed that there is no safe place to go in the Gaza Strip. So we're talking about at least 20 families remain in that school. And as early hours of this morning, and this is the daily routine of so many displaced, if not all of them, displaced and evacuees in the Gaza Strip, the daily routine of queuing in line for water and bread. Mainly women and little kids do this along with their either older siblings or their fathers. They were in the yard of the hospital when it came under heavy artillery shelling and tank shells this morning. 12 people were killed, mainly children and women, and that's once again that we're seeing an entire generations of children being targeted and killed. And when we talk about the level of precision and technology used in this weapon, but we look at the victims, a lot of people express frustration that it's done on purpose. A parent who lost 2 of his kids in this school talked that frustrated about the fact that Israel could have avoided, the Israeli military could have avoided killing the children, but in fact they did it and they killed them. So those 12 were rushed to the hospital, mainly women and children, 25 other with several critical injuries. And this is the aftermath of what's going on. It adds more pressure on the hospitals. It already suffer from lack of of medical supplies and necessities to keep it surviving. But the tsunami of injuries has put so much pressure on health facility and making it overwhelmed. So far, what we know about the conditions of while he was shot in the upper right arm, as a drone fired the missiles, as shrapnel just hit him in the upper side of his right arm, and his cameraman was also hit with a shrapnel, but his injuries is more critical, and it took time for the ambulance to get to the area. It came under heavy fire by the Israeli military. It took time to get him to the hospital. The last thing we heard that he is undergoing a surgery right now in the hospital, just to remove any of the shrapnel that are still inside his body.
From shock therapy in Argentina to peak rates, maybe, in the US. This is the week in numbers. Over 50% was how much Argentina devalued its peso currency this week. That was part of an economic shock therapy package unveiled by the government of new Libertarian President Javier Milei. He says the devaluation will boost exporters, but it could also drive a new surge in the country's sky-high inflation. Around 0.75% is the total rate cut now penciled in for the year by policymakers at the US Federal Reserve. That, after Chair Jerome Powell signaled that no more hikes were likely.
We believe that we are likely at or near the peak rate for this cycle.
Later in the week, the European Central Bank said it wasn't even thinking about rate cuts yet. $10 billion is how much revenue analysts say could be at risk for Google. That after a court ruled that its App Store was an illegal monopoly. Now experts say the search giant could be forced to slash the fees it charges to developers, or even allow other app stores onto its Android platform. $5.8 billion is how much an investor group is offering to acquire Macy's. Shares in the department store surged on the news, though some analysts doubt the bidders really have enough financial firepower to pull off the deal. And over 2 million is how many vehicles Tesla is recalling in the US. That's almost every one of its cars there. Safety watchdogs ordered the move after ruling that Tesla's autopilot software could increase the chances of a crash.
You were listening to the Midday News on WINNFM 98.9. The headlines?
Guyana, Venezuela agreed to no threats or use of force in border dispute to meet again in 3 months. Over $1 million allocated by Grenada's government to reimburse students who performed well in CXC examinations. Internationally, Russian President Vladimir Putin has told Russians that peace with Ukraine will only take place when we achieve our objectives.
Thank you for listening.
That was the WINNFM Headline News. The Headline News was brought to you by Caribbean Alliance, KDP Enterprises, The Grange, and Caribou.
Did you know that the Grange Healthcare Facility is the first purpose-built, non-governmental healthcare organization on St. Kitts? It's situated at Otley's, 7 miles east of Basseterre in beautifully landscaped surroundings. The Grange has a team of highly trained professionals and provides care that's rated as being comparable with UK and North American standards. The Grange offers varied accommodations to suit your individual needs, and our all-inclusive packages make the cost of care per hour the most competitive on the island. Services include convalescent care for all ages, daycare facilities for older adults, rehabilitation services, and training and continuing education for healthcare providers. For more information, call 466-5525 or 465-8020. Fax 466-8221 or email thegrangehealth@gmail.com or visit our website at www.grangehealthcarefacility.com.
Shipping your cargo shouldn't be a hassle. It can be as easy as a single call to Amerijet International, your worldwide cargo transportation solution. We provide all the services you need to ship your goods anywhere in the world, whether your shipment is fresh, frozen, large or small, alive or hazardous. You can count on Amerijet to deliver it safe and sound. Amerijet International. By land, sea or air, we get it there. For more information, visit us online at www.amerijet.com or call us at KDP Enterprises at 466-9595.
With over a century of perfection behind the Mackeson name, a smooth blend with perfect balance and richness, it's no wonder Mackeson Triple Stout has a legacy of perfection. Enjoyed the world over. Introducing our new look with the same great taste. Mackeson. All hail the king.
Please drink responsibly.
When it comes to the important things in life, your health, your education, your choice of a life partner, and of course your insurance provider, only the best will do. Caribbean Alliance Insurance is the only insurance company in the Eastern Caribbean with an A excellent rating. We have a robust 3-tier reinsurance strategy that protects our policyholders from multiple catastrophes, even if they occur in quick succession. We spread our risks over 18 territories, ensuring minimal impact to individual territories when a disaster strikes. We provide an excellent claims experience. Claim settlement is usually between 24 to 48 hours. Our A excellent rating means that you are more secure with us. Contact us for motor, property, marine, public liability, employer's liability, and other policies. Dalil Walwyn, people you can trust. Local agent for Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Tomorrow secured.
Found the sound. 98.9. Win FM.
Get ready to transform your space with the Horsford's Building and Nevis Centers. Spruce it up big fresh paint and tile sale. It's your chance to give your home a fresh new look at a whopping 25% off store-wide on all paints and tile at Horsford's Building and Nevis Centers. But wait, there's more. With every purchase of Citizens Paints, you could win a free room paint over. Imagine walking into a freshly painted room completely on us. Looking for even more options? We've got you covered with fantastic deals on Sherwin-Williams and Penta paints. Don't miss out on the chance to get premium quality paints at amazing prices. But hurry now to Horswood's Building and Nevis Center. This incredible offer is available for the entire months of November and December only. Terms and conditions apply, so be sure to visit us for all the details. So don't wait. Head on over to our store and take advantage of Horswood's Building and Nevis Center. Spruce it up big fresh paint and tile sale. Give your space the makeover it deserves and make this holiday season extra special.
Good afternoon to our viewers and listeners around the globe. Welcome to the second half of today's presentation of Voices. I hope you enjoyed a very sumptuous lunch and all that. I have a roti waiting for me. Chris Collins, I have my roti waiting for me. When I'm done, I'm going to head straight to the circus. And as I said, it's not Roti's cousin, it's actually Roti. So, you know what I mean? When you get here, I'll, take it to the lady and have you enjoy a couple of nice rotis. Rosemary, she says she logged on late today, so just to bring up to steam, we had a very nice presentation this morning. The usual callers, I haven't heard from Sister Henry as yet. We're looking forward to that. In the meantime, I'd like to extend congratulations to Lady Agnes Kerritt, designated the Grand Marshal of Sugar Mass 52. So she'll be down there today doing the parade. As a matter of fact, her daughter is actually preparing to take her down to downtown. She will be on portray as the Grand marshal of Sugar Mass 52, our carnival. Coincidentally, she was the first chairperson of a national carnival. So whereas we've had Ms. Shannon Harley as the female, people thought she was the first female chairman of a carnival, or chairperson. She's not a man. I would remind persons who didn't know, that Miss Agnes Carey was the first chairperson of our national carnival way back when. And she has been blessed with many, longevity, to the point now she's been honored, and today she's on display. She'll be on display at the opening of the National Carnival, official opening of Sugar Mass 52. So for those who've not seen her for a long time and wishes to, go out and press the flesh, as we would say, Miss Carey will be downtown, and we have to say congratulations to her. Well, it is known that she's sight challenged, but her voice is strong, her spirit, and, she's just there. I actually saw her about 10 days ago up at her former home, the Shadwell Great House. There was an event there called Calypso and Cuisine. And there were 3 Calypsonians invited to perform, the Alamulu, and he was awesome. In his element, he was there doing his thing. The reigning Culturama Calypso Monarch, the Hollywood was there. He too was awesome, very impressive. And your humble servant was one of the 3 selected to entertain the audience. It was a, very suave affair at the Shadwell Great House. And I think, based on the reports on the success of that first event, it's going to happen again. It was entitled Calypso and Cuisine. And so the first song I rendered, as I told the audience, was all about cuisine. It was called Salty, Fatty, and Sweet. Sorry about that. Need to get my roti. So once again, we're into the second half of today's presentation of Voices. My name is Socrates, and we have Lady Sharon at the control. 662-0989, 466-0989, and if you dare, 762-0989 gets you in on the conversation. It's open. We played a clip this morning that spoke about the world today, the current situation, how we got to this point in time. And we've had no calls on that in particular. We discussed sanitation. We've discussed calypsos, what's happening in that, genre. We discussed the fact that calypso is the only genre that's still, in competition. You hear about the Blues Festival, Reggae Festival, R&B, Jazz Festival, Calypso competition. We were speaking also of the fact that in Jamaica, we have lots of collaboration with the various artists. You may have maybe up to 5-6 reggae artists on one production, one album, one CD. Around the world, it used to be standard, and still is to some extent, where each Calypsonian would have to find funding to fund his own album of 6, 8, 10 records. We go to the phone lines. Caller, you're live on Voices. Welcome to the program.
Good day. Who is the Calypsonian? Is the Kamal? Who is that person?
Young chap I watched grow up. He is from St. Kitts. I think he's changed his name from what it was. Christian Nathaniel was his given name. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So you know Christian. Well, he emerged the winner of the on the judges' scorecard by 102 points ahead of the closest person. That's awesome. Are you still there? Okay. So Christian Nathaniel, Asa Kamal, his current name, emerged the winner of last night's Caribou Senior Calypso semifinals competition by 102 points. He was 846. The closest competitor was 744, and that was more. So it's going to be interesting. Congratulations to all the persons who have taken part from the very earliest stage of eliminations. Whether you advance or not, congratulations to those who would have received the judge's nod last evening / into the early morning of the 14th and 15th of December. I won't go into the names of the judges, but there were two persons that I thought, from the very first impression they gave at Spratnet, well, what I received from them, the mighty Freddie, and I think is Green Tea. Yes, I think there were nationals living abroad, and I was very, 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 very much impressed with their renditions, the clarity of the voices, their performances. I thought they were showings, as to coin a phrase, and last night when the final tabulation, well, the scorecard was read, they were not. And sometimes this happens, and we express opinions, and they say the judge's decision is final. But very, very much impressed with Green Tea especially. I don't know what happened. I may not have seen his second round. I was a bit tired, went to take a little nap, came back refreshed. So I missed the second round. But as I said, I can't really give a definitive accounting of what may have happened. I thought he was one of the showings. As it stands, if I recall correctly, the 7 selected would be in the order of selection. I may make a mistake unless I consult my phone. Isha Kamal was the leading on the judge score sheet. Socrates second, Hollywood third. Diva would be fifth. Who's the other person? Invincible, then Jackie. Queen Singer Jackie, she would be 7th, I think. And the other young lady was very, very good. She's now the alternative. The I Saw Us Up was a no-show. I was looking forward to seeing him. I thought that song that he presented, Call Again, or whatever the name was very well rendered. The best I've heard him in years. I was very much looking forward to see him perform last night and perhaps on the final night, but that is not to be. But that's Calypso, and that's what happened last night, and today is the official launch of Carnival. As I was saying, Miss Agnes Kerritt is the designated Grand Marshal of Sugar Mass 52. The parade gets underway later on this afternoon, so folks who have not seen her in years, she was here in the studios of WINNFM some months ago. Very impressive in her delivery, recall on the various topics that were presented. So we're very happy that she's here with us. Earlier on, we had a call from our first caller who spoke about the passing of Miss Crossley, an icon in, I would say, small business in our federation, and we did extend condolences to her and her family. Phone lines are open, 662-0989, 762-0989, and of course 466, the landline gets you in on the conversation. In the meantime, we're going to pause to give Caesar his due, and we'll be right back.
Get set for the unprecedented, unbelievable, unimaginable 3-day That Day weekend sale at Horsford. From December 14th to 16th, enjoy up to 30% off tour-wide and an extra 12% off on VAT days. Get all this at our Horsford's Building and Nevis Centers, automotive accessories and spares department, and furniture and appliances, including Ashley Home Store. Don't miss out on these incredible savings at Horsford's, where the savings never stop. Get ready for a dazzling showcase of talent, intelligence, and beauty at the 41st edition of Abe Smith Miss Caribbean Talented Team. Join us on December 30th, 2023 at 8 p.m. sharp at the St. Kitts Marriott Hotel. Experience the brilliance brilliance of delegates from the Caribbean nation, including Mr. Kyler Hart Johnson, representing St. Kitts and Nevis. Our special guest host, comedian Fat Man George from Grenada. Power Pack performances by Soca Super, Lucas H.E., along with other local and regional performers, accompanied by the Greenhouse Band. Get your tickets fast for $80 EC before December 25th, or pay $100 EC thereafter. Don't miss the chance to watch the show live on sknvibes.com. It's the 41st annual Haynes Smith Miss Caribbean Talented Teen, where stars are born. Special thanks to our major sponsors, First Federal Credit Union, SL Hosford and Company Limited, Open Interactive, and Timothy Beach Resort. Join us and be a part of this legacy.
And we're back. You're live on, we are presenting voices. We're into the second half. And the number to call is 466-0989. We have some challenges with the other lines, so focus on the landline, 466-0989, and that should get you in. We apologize for any inconvenience caused by the challenges being faced by the other numbers, but let's get cracking. For those who've been trying the other lines, you now need to focus on the 466-0989. Okay, what was I talking about before we went? I kind of forgot. Oh, Carnival is in the air, and today is the start of the official opening of Carnival. We have hundreds of persons will be heading for the city for this evening's celebration. We ask that our transport providers, the bus drivers, those who drive the omnibuses from the eastern and western end and from the northern St. Peter end, please be careful. It's the season to be jolly, and a lot of folks take chances. The hustle and the bustle of that day and the shopping around, we ask that you be mindful of the speed limits. There's a hustle, yes, but there is also the heightened chance of accidents, injuries, etc. Those coming in from the western end, we know the history of the speeding. It can be exciting, exhilarating. You're just a killer on the road. Please take your time. Bring your patrons back and forth in a safe manner. All the bus drivers on the road, all the other persons who are road users. Lord, sometimes it's so... You drive, Siobhan? You drive. Have you ever come down a road where there's an obstruction on the opposite end and people just drive through and ask if you can wait? Yes, and you get away with that once or twice and you're feeling emboldened to do it. We ask that you observe, especially at this time of the year, the traffic safety codes. You drive with precaution. You respect other person's lives and limbs. And it's not about insurance coverage. It's about the horror you can cause. We want to know come January. We're on the 15th day of December. We want to know come January we will not have to report on any accidents that would have caused mayhem, injury, just horror in a person's life. We look forward on Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve to the what? Make your New Year's resolution. And I hope that the last year we would have made one not to get in any accidents. I'm a road user myself. And the times we all take chances, but this is not a thing we could take for granted. Please. For the shoppers around town, those coming in, those celebrating, those later on will be observing the Carnival troops and the whole launch of Carnival, we would wish that you would get home safely. For those celebrating, those imbibing, please remember, once imbibing, don't go driving. This makes you a killer on the road. When vision is impaired, your judgment will be affected. You become a killer on the road. When booze give you double vision and you end up in collision, the next day when you get sober, you may learn to your grief and horror. You are the latest killer on the road. But then, you're a licensed killer on the road. You have any idea where those lyrics came from, Sharon?
Your song?
That was like 33, 34 years ago. and it's still relevant today, is Christmas time is a very celebratory time of the year. We celebrate Christmas and Carnival. We have lots of national flying and all the shows and the excitement of being home. Please, we have lots of folks who are taking rentals. May not be that familiar with the roads. We have some guests from North America, Europe also on the road. We have to be careful with them. Sometimes they come around the bend on the wrong side of the road. So we have to drive not only for us, but for them. But if your speed at the rate of which you're traveling is not manageable, that's not a good thing. So please, 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 please. It's one of the things that we speak about, especially in the evenings. And if you're tired, please, please don't drive. If you're tired, please, if you can, don't drive. 10 miles becomes 100 miles when you're tired. And especially if you had only had a beer. It doesn't matter if you had 1, 2, or 3. Once your judgment is impaired, you are a potential killer on the road. Okay? So be mindful of that. 466-0989 is the line that we prefer that you use to get in on today's conversation. Let me check my phone. Wait it. Got a WhatsApp coming in? Got something? No. Checking my phone momentarily. Oh, I just see something that you sent me there. Okay. So we have some updates on the opening of Carnival today, so you can inform the public. It's entitled An Exceptional Parade. Embark on a journey of wonder, and on December 15th, as the parade commences from the Noontown Fisheries Complex at 3 p.m. The procession, an explosion of colors and creativity, will wind its way. I'm counting actually, trying to get this thing into perspective. Will wind its way through the streets, capturing the essence of our rich heritage. Enter parade at Warner's Park. This would now be at 6 p.m. Step into paradise as the Warner Park Cricket Stadium transforms into a hub of cultural celebrations, entertainment, and excitement. Prepare to be captivated by the charm of our festivities as you explore Wonderland. At 7:30 p.m., the opening ceremony will officially commence. That is why Miss Carey says to me that she's preparing to take her mother downtown. So let me go over that again. From around 3 p.m., they're gathering at the Noontown Fisheries Complex. The procession and the explosion of colors and creativity will wend its way through the streets, capturing the essence of color. I want to see some of this. I didn't work with my camera, but my phone will have to do. Enter paradise at Warner Park. At 6 p.m., step into paradise as Warner Park Cricket Stadium transforms into a hub of cultural celebrations, entertainment, and excitement. Prepare to be captivated by the charm of our festivities as you explore Wonderland. At 7:30 p.m., the opening ceremony will officially commence. And this goes until the 3rd of January of the Juve and Laugh Lap. So I tell folks that we here in SKN, we end the old year with a bang and do the same in the new year. So which troop are you in this year? No troop for you this year? Oh, you don't take part? You are a spectator? Are you busy at Win FM? Okay, I understand that. Somebody have to do the news. Somebody have to be with the reporting. And so Wednesday, I think I would have come in, but you're carrying budgets. And there's lots of talk about the budget and what was promised and what is delivered and this and thing. I just, appreciate the fact that we are able to reach our people You can't get 100% in everything, but at least something is offered, and the people who are very happy and grateful for what was presented. There are those who are happy with the double salary and the $500 being paid to those recipients. The VAT day, that whole atmosphere. A friend told me yesterday that she had to go with her boss to TDC at 4 this morning, 4 a.m. 4 a.m. So the late chitching is appreciated. I was in Slumberland still because last night was a late night for me. But yes, we have to appreciate we are able to celebrate another milestone in terms of our Sugar Mass 52. We look forward to this every year. We want to say a hearty welcome back home to our nationals, those visiting for the first time, whether you're on St. Kitts or Nevis. We are one of the most hospitable people in the world. And of course, we welcome you to celebrate with us. Join our carnival. We boast that we have the best carnival in the world. Trinidad said, what are you talking about? And then you hear Brazil saying, we have the best in the world. Everybody's carnival is the best. In our little space that we occupy, we have the street activities, we have the cultural activities that in terms of the masquerades, they're there all year round, and we really appreciate that unique aspect of culture that they present. But in terms of the bands and the juvie and the steel band competition and the Queen pageants and the Miss Talented Teen, all the various activities that prevail during this time of year, we look forward to and we celebrate. There'll be a ball, I think, on the 26th of this month. That's the SPBS ball, the Sandy Point Benevolent Society. That'll be at the Royal St. Christopher. I think there's a young band in Sandy Point called the Explosive Band. They'll be featured there along with other entertainers. Sheila, I think, will be making an appearance. So folks who are fans of Star Sheila would have a chance now to go and see him do his thing. I think I'm on that card also. So there are lots of activities. Through it all, we ask that the people stay sane, stay safe, enjoy, which plans to come back next year. Bring a friend, tell a friend the wonderful time you had. Don't have a sad tale, well, I got drunk, I was in an accident, and this person ended up in hospital. We don't need that. Just make sure that everything is done with caution and, moderation is the excesses that creates problem. And like last night, I was having a little issue with my vocals. We pause again for a few kind words from our sponsors. It's actually 1 p.m. Okay? Catch you off guard? Give credit to our sponsors before we return. Okay.
Are you ready to turn transactions into treasures? It's time to unlock the triple transformation transaction treasures at Horsford's Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Furniture Home Store St. Kitts. With every hire purchase, not only do you get quality furniture, but you also get triple cash back for free groceries. That's right, triple your saving, triple your transformation. Imagine a home beautifully furnished and a pantry stocked to the brim, all in one go. Our expert staff is standing by, ready to guide you to the pieces that will make your dream home a reality. Horsford's Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Furniture Home Store St. Kitts, where quality meets affordability. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Visit our showrooms today and start your journey from transactions to treasure. Horsford's Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Furniture Home Store St. Kitts, transforming home one transaction at a time. Visit us today and experience the triple transformation transaction treasures. At 2 minutes past the 1 p.m. hour, we are back with the program.
And those lines of silence, so let me just yabber on a bit. I want to extend congratulations to the Honorable Marsha Henderson, Minister of Tourism, on receiving the accolades of being the #1 tourism minister in the region. A distinction formerly held by the recently passed Minister of Tourism, Minister Lindsay Grant, former Minister of Tourism Lindsay Grant. So we want to extend that to the new minister. I know in a previous conversation we was looking at the tourism season and the forecast, and she did say that this season would not be as vigorous as before. And there were explanations given as to why and the ways of, etc. And the results is bearing out as predicted. But she has been designated and been congratulated for receiving that distinction as being the #1 tourism minister in the region. That would be because, from those observing, she's vigilant and working in a manner to, get us back to the level of, I would say, calls we would have. Loose figures says we're getting some 70 less calls during this season, reflecting a 200,000 drop in headcounts to the Federation. And it's reflected. But the fact is we were told it would happen. There are being ongoing discussion as to the whys. We're hearing that the tourism hub in Puerto Rico is no longer there. So the Carnival and those major shipping lines that would use that as a hub to spring to the island no longer exist. So it's been very challenging down at Port Zante in terms of work. But it suffice it to say this has been anticipated based on what was happening or not. And so we look forward for the numbers increasing, as we've had, I think, a small increase in numbers of the drivers, etc. So once again, congratulations to the Honorable Minister of Tourism for receiving that distinction, and thank you for the hard work you've been doing. There are those who have various opinions, but we must understand that we are going through some challenging times. As I went biblical with this, I said when people start to complain, this is not happening. It's in the Bible. You have to look for 7 years of plenty. We've had our 7 years of plenty. Not that it's coinciding with the 7 years where team unity was there. I'm not saying that. I'm saying it's in the Bible that there was 7 years of plenty and there's 7 years of lean. So if we have to go for 7 years of lean, I mean, when that time, when you have plenty, you must husband your business in a manner whereby it can take you over the hurdles when things are slower. COVID was a major interruption, and we're still, to some extent, creeping out of the shadows of what that meant to us in terms of our tourism industry, our economy in general. So we would have enjoyed our 7 years of plenty. We must now go through our 7 years of lean. Was that jam stuff? Touch your home, enjoy some sumptuous meal or something. I out you? Nah, you're a good guy, man. You can't do no wrong. So Chris Collins, when I leave here, the lady called to confirm the vote. You will be waiting. I'm sorry, you did ask me to get you some and send up. You know that? Man, tell me get somebody coming up to the UK. It can happen because folks are down for the carnival season, so perhaps after that we can send some stuff up for you. Yes. 466-0989. Guess you're in on the conversation. The lines are open. We apologize for the challenges faced by the 662 and the 762 numbers. We only have one dedicated line, and that's the 466. So it's an opportunity for you to let me know what's happening downtown. At the circus, I drove through it earlier, and that was quite a mess because Bank Street is actually closed. They're erecting a stage for some major carnival events. So if you can avoid the circus, I discussed this earlier, do so. Parking is a challenge around the city because of the amount of yellow lines. So to get to the circus and find you have to snake your way up 4th Street and around to come back down Bank Street, West Independence Square Street. You cannot go into Bank Street. So be aware of that. If you're heading to town and you want to go to the 4th Street area or onto New Town via Bank Street, that's not happening. Just to let you know. It's carnival time. Folks are here in the Grosvenor Valley. Lots of visitors are here already. And so downtown have on this carnival festive atmosphere. Not to mention there's the VAT Day. Shopping is virtually, you know. And I have a voicemail that says what? Oh, there's a note here that I'm asked to read. And let's see what it says. Join us in making health a priority. The Rotary Club of St. Kitts is excited to announce our prostate screening project. And it runs up to the 13th of January at the Largemount Olive Building in Taylor's Range Road. Mark your calendar and don't miss this opportunity. It's going to be from 6 to 2 p.m. Start your day right with a hearty breakfast available and purchase and take charge of your well-being with complimentary general wellness checks. We especially encourage men 40 years and older to come for their free prostate screening. Early detection save lives. Let's take steps towards a healthier future together. So there's that. And speaks about men 40 and over. Of course, we have the stigma of men not really caring to go and take regular healthy checkups. And when we do, we find out that this thing is far gone, it's too late, and we suffer the consequences. Right? Okay, so yes. Downtown. Traffic, drivers, being cautious on the road, that day, celebratory atmosphere, people coming to town to take part in the opening ceremonies later on. It starts up at the Fishers Complex around 3 p.m. Wending its way downtown and then up at the Carnival Village, the Warners Park. That's where you see all the various costumery and the grand opening of Carnival. Ladies Carriage, that's Agnes Carriage will be the Grand Marshal of Carnival. Coincidentally, 52 years ago, she was the first chairperson of our National Carnival. 52 years after, she's now being honored as the Grand Marshal of Carnival. And she'll be accompanied by her lovely daughter, Lisa. So that's what's happening around town. Jam said, did you go to the show last night? You were sleeping? Calypso, you're sleeping? Eh? Have you had, he said it was said. Have you had any feedback? You listen to the full thing? First round. What about your impressions? Any impressions? How you sing a second song first? Your first song have to be sung first. So you were okay. You're saying that you were familiar with the first song and you wanted to hear because you want to sleep. Okay, I get your logic. Well, sometimes folks don't have a second song. Godfrey, in his first rendition, did the Foot Soldiers. That was very popular in the tents and on the radio. I think it was very well rendered. His second song was Something for Something. I wasn't judging, but I viewed it. I think it was a bit too repetitive. Something for something, something for something. And so he did not receive the judge's nod, I believe, based on that performance. Watch your back. He would have advanced to the semis for the first time as a Calypsonian. He knows all the Green Valley. So he moved the crowd with his first song, Watch Your Back, Back and Back. But it was called The Spirit of the Bad Boy King, something like that, which is Ayatollah, as he named himself. So the melody of the song and the construct of the song was the very same as if Ayatollah was on stage. So I don't know how much he would have lost, if anything, for originality, because the song was saying that he is the spirit of the Bad Boy King. Second song also, I think it was carnival related, and he too fell by the way of the judges' axe. Who else was very impressive in the first round? Lady Composer, she was, I think in both rounds she was very good. She's now the alternative. Queen Singing Jackie had some challenges in the first round in terms of when the band started. I think there was a misunderstanding as to which selection would be first. They got underway, and I think she had some challenges with the microphone. We would have lost some of her words, but she would have placed, I think she's placed number 7th in the lineup. Invincible, the young man who would have garnered some 8 crowns in the junior Calypso field. He is now advanced as a senior. He made it through to he was selected last night to advance to the finals. One of the 3 persons from the Legends Calypso tent, incidentally, of the 16 selected to take part in the semifinals, which was held last night, only 3 were chosen by the judges to be there. And I'm happy to say all 3 advanced to so we got 100% of what we sent into the semifinals in the persons of the Invincible, Lady Diva, who was excellent last night, and myself. So I think we have to say that we got 100% of what we went to the competition with, and we're hoping everybody's hopeful for the crown. Now, as I said, I have never been beaten into second place by so much blows. Kamal beat Socrates by 102 points. You didn't know his scores are 842? 46. 846. The nearest person to him was 744. And then Hollywood was just 2 points below me. So, young man banged me by 100. Oh, it's going to be epic. It's going to be epic. I'm looking forward to it. But it was a great show, great performance, and he rendered what he was rendering very well. So I think we're getting some points for performance, presentation, and all that. There's a little issue though. I think Obi and Navis is saying that it's the first song they ever heard about Christina. Is that correct? You think so, Sharon? In 1970, Pharaoh did one. August the 1st, 1970, will always remain in my memory. And it was a 45. Under the deep buried Christina, sang taking 200 or more with her. Which band? Studio recording. No. A studio recording in Trinidad. He went to Trinidad. Art the Quarter, I think, was the arranger, and that's a 45 back in 1970. You came in the era of City. When about 45? That was the first song. I don't know if I ever heard Godfrey's Own, but I have one. It's called Christina's Pain. And if Monarch didn't have my CD, not my pen drive, I left it to said it's on there. So I wanted to play it for Obi and others to hear. It's called Christina's Pain. It was rendered at the 50th anniversary of the Christina disaster, a ceremony held down at the Treasury Building. Did you cover it? That song was rendered, not in person, because I had some vocal challenges. So I sent it. It was played there as part of the ceremony at the 50th anniversary of Christina disaster. That ceremony was held out just in the back of the Treasury building before they erected the monuments. So a history lesson. So the King Pharaoh did render a song on the Christina disaster in the very same year of the disaster, August. And we now take a station break, and we'll be right back.
Get ready to transform your space with the Horsford's Building and Event Centers. Spruce it up big fresh paint and tile sale. It's your chance to give your home a fresh new look at a whopping 25% off store-wide on all paints and tile at Horsford's Building and Event Centers. But wait, there's more. With every purchase of Citizens Paints, you could win a free room paint over. Imagine walking into a freshly painted room completely on us. Looking for even more options? We've got you covered with fantastic deals on Sherwin-Williams and Penta Paints. Don't miss out on the chance to get premium quality paints at amazing prices. But hurry now to Horswood's Building and Event Center. This incredible offer is available for the entire months of November and December only. Terms and conditions apply, so be sure to visit us for all the details. So don't wait. Head on over to our store and take advantage of Horswood's Building and Event Center. Spruce it up big fresh paint and tile sale. Give your space the makeover it deserves and make this holiday season extra special.
Get set for the unprecedented, unbelievable, unimaginable 3-day That Day weekend sale at Horsford. From December 14th to 16th, enjoy up to 30% off tour-wide and an extra 12% off on that days. Get all this at our Horsford's Building and Event Centers, automotive accessories and spares department, and furniture and appliances, including Ashley Home Store. Don't miss out on these incredible savings at Horsford's, where the savings never stop.
At 19 minutes past the hour, I think I have to put out an all-point bulletin for Sister Henry. I haven't heard from her for the day. Well, I wasn't here on Wednesday or the Monday, so I need to know that she's okay. Right? So, Sister Sylvian Henry, the world is wondering, are you okay when I'm not hearing from you? You're one of the staples of this program. So let me know if you're okay. And I know you tried the landline, which is 662-0989. And I think she would know about that recording done by Pharaoh years ago. Okay, so Obi, the song done by Christian Nathaniel is is not by far the first song done about this Christina disaster some 52 years ago. There have been others, and we go to the phone lines. Good day, caller. You're live on Voices.
Hello, good afternoon, all. Season greetings to you. And may next year be better and brighter. And maybe we get all what we wish for the Christmas.
Bunnies.
And may you win the Calypso show. I could have come sing, sucker.
Yes. We'd love to have you do your thing. You know what I mean? My name is Bunnies. I used to sell nuts. You know what I mean? Do something. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thanks. We're relaxing.
You sound fine, so.
I feel bored. They look like I'm going to put on my clothes, go down to call like a game board.
Yes, man.
I say yesterday I was in town, liming on our Port Zante.
Uh-huh.
Yes, and now I'm here like I feel bored. I'm feeling sleepy.
Come in town. Let me ask a question. When was the last time you saw Miss Kerrit?
Oh, my couple of years now.
Well, she'll be on parade today.
Wow.
She is the Grand Master of Carnival. You know?
Okay.
She'll be on parade. She should be, they're leaving the fisheries complex around 3 o'clock, so I know you probably won't go up there, but they're going to head downtown. I believe swing up 4th Street to go up to the park. I said earlier, for the folks that have not seen her for some time, they need to go and see her.
Okay. And they will call it carnival queen. She was a carnival queen, right?
No, she was a chaperone for many. She was the first chairperson of Carnival, National Carnival. But she was
Chairperson, okay.
Yeah, the first one. You know, but she was the person who chaperoned many of the queens, the Carnival queens. So, you know.
Yeah, that long time.
So we have over 52 years of her making a contribution to the National Carnival development.
To the National Carnival, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I will go
Between that and that, did you go for your shopping today? Your VAT shopping?
Me, no, I want some time for the bathroom. I told the guy come. I want to get ready. I told him come and check me. It's about 2 o'clock. So when he come, I go, look at the ride back down with him. And then that's all. Me really want nothing in a soccer, all right, you know me, and the Jesse people. I just go normal, you know. I don't want that thing where going to give me dust. I live in them flowers there because when you look at the wash and dust. I just put up the 2 curtain and thank God the day I'm alive when he come and that's it. I used to dress up a long time because I had grandchildren around me. And one year, after they grown, I just took they had it for a while. The Christmas tree.
Yeah.
And one them in 2013 or 14, I just took a choice and the garbage downtown and that's it.
But you still celebrate?
I had some lights. I bought some lights that time. These people, they are Indian people on Central Street, upper side, BCA, they just came there. And I gave somebody the lights. I used to use some before. Some nice, the green and thing, and them the lights I never used it. I pack a light. I don't even remember what you know doing that.
Imagine that.
I give it them, and I just up nothing like them time deal. Like it ain't in me.
Anyway, okay. So you still send out Christmas cheers? You still celebrate Christmas?
Hello?
You still celebrate Christmas? Send out cheers and all that?
Not really. If I feel like Christmas morning, I wish for something, but if I'm to that, not a thing bother me but me. All I gotta do, we just want the carnival be safe.
Yep.
No incident. Let the young people behave themselves. Tell them bury the pow.
Yeah.
Because, you know, long time you go in the square to sit and you feel so comfortable. Do you know, I didn't even know they had some chairs in the square. Now they make them up and they decorate the square. You know?
Yes, I've seen them.
2 weeks ago, I went there, me and this lady. I said, wow, you can sit at the table, you and your friend, and all you talk. Or that's your boyfriend or somebody's boyfriend.
It's one of the reasons why you have your extra boyfriend to think to?
If I can't find mine, I take somebody wants to sit down there with them.
I hear you. It's one of the reasons they're saying they should move that Spirit of Christmas activity to the square. I don't block up the circus.
Oh, yeah, I was hearing them speaking about it about 2 weeks ago, yeah.
They
use up the square. Yes. I don't know what we could do in our country. You go to Jamaica already, right? You see how the square decorate one day? I glimpsed it there on YouTube. I can't believe everything looks so nice. They got eater around there, them space there where they have so space where they could let people build little, tidy boats and, and keep it tidy and stuff.
Independence Square thought it was sacred space for a lot of reasons, but you can still move that Spirit of Christmas activity in there. People will come because they have other social events in the square.
Yeah, and look how we used to get the part of Christmas thing in the square.
That is true.
I used to left to go home with my daughter to see Santa Claus and so on, my grandchildren, them, And it used to be so, uplifting, because you like to hear when the bell ring and come in and hear him. Oh, they're coming out, he coming.
Yeah, we celebrated. We celebrated. But here's what.
But they just break it and kite in the circus. It ain't so sweet in the circus. It's same to the chairs they have in the circus. They could put them in the chair and celebrate the place in the 18 bottom.
Okay.
That's it. So people talking about it. I don't know if they're going to do something to it next year. It's a good idea.
It's a very strong recommendation because it's not a good thing to kick out taxi drivers off the circus when you know.
Abandon
it's not a good thing.
them and all them things.
It's also a major disruptor of traffic. It disrupts traffic terribly.
They need to do something about it next year. Do some studying about it, man. Mr.
Yep.
I mean, we think, what are we doing? What are we really doing?
In terms of?
Because I went to St. Martin when they used to keep carnival and by the pond.
By the pond?
There. You got down there was thing already, so you know how it was.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing there, the same pond.
Transformed.
They
Totally transformed.
fill it, and then they have a nice village there, you know.
Mm-hmm.
What are we doing when we're going to get a good carnival village?
Well, that was promised by Gus Williams. Remember him?
Yeah, because
and then I saw plans by where it was Sylvester Anthony showed the plans to Wingrove and I for a brand new stadium, you know, and the government changed. That was the end of that. But Wingrove can attest to the fact that we were showed plans for a brand new carnival village to be built and laid out on the current location of what we call Carnival Village, Carnival City. Right? Plans were there. We were shown those plans by Sylvester Anthony. Government changed. And that was the end of that.
You mean PLP or the one was before that?
It was the one before that. Timothy, before Timothy came in.
Yeah, but
government changed.
But then Timothy should have continued. They need to stop this, you know.
But here's what. We have 2 minutes to go. I'm going to give you a chance to say hi to all your friends and family out there. So take that time to, you know, send our greetings to your boyfriend or whomever.
Season greetings to my whole family out there. Wishing them all the best for 2024. And may we live together, some of family living together on a soccer, but when I meet you personally and tell you.
Okay.
Right, you like them and they hurt you inside, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so all the best far and near in Totolo, in the state, and around it's surrounded of thinking. You know, my family big soccer, it's kids that be, you know.
Uh-huh.
The kids, you hear about the kids that want to know a friend, no, yeah.
I see. We'll talk about that.
Big family, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so to everybody out there, happy 2024. Oh my
we know what you mean. 1924 is all right.
Everything I know again. Happy 2024 when it comes, and may we all be in one health and in peace. And I know I in a power like last day for Job, man. And Lord, I don't want to put away the gun. And may everything go down smooth and everything.
And go and say hi to Miss Kerry today, okay?
Yes, I'm glad you tell me. Yeah.
Thank you for your contribution. And we come to closure of today's presentation of Voices. We wish you peace, love, and ton of fairness, prosperity, equality. Okay? From the studios of WINN FM 98.9, I'm out of here.